Hi, everyone. Welcome to Teeniors Parental Controls 101 for Apple devices. I'm Trish Lopez. I run Teeniors. Teeniors are tech-savvy teens and young adults who help older adults learn technology through one-on-one personal coaching. So whether that's an app, a software, a cell phone, smartphone, smart TV, or a computer, anything you need help with, we would love to help you. We've partnered with Southwest Family Guidance Center just to provide you that help. Today, we're teaching a class with our lovely instructor, Christy Kaneshiro, on parental controls for Apple devices. And she has plenty of experience having 4 sons of her own while working full-time at Sandia National Labs. So I'll let Christy take it from here. And I'm going to start by sharing the screen so that we can see the slides and you can see how to do this on your phone. Thank you. And Christy, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here and thank you for joining us. I'm happy to be presenting on behalf of Teeniors, and I'm just going to go through some things that I have learned and taught myself because I have 4 kids, like Trish mentioned, and I was just interested in making sure that their screen time is at a level that I felt was okay, and that they weren't spending excessive time on their phones and their iPads and things like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead, like Trish mentioned, the focus of this is on Apple devices. And one of the really neat things that Apple has is family sharing. So this presentation is just going to go through the screen time setting. But if you have family sharing set up, it's the exact same process that I'm going to go through. The only difference is with family sharing, you can adjust and modify your child's or grandkids' settings directly from your own device if you're the family owner. If you don't have family sharing set up, then you would have to get your child's device and do the changes directly on their device. So what you'll do is you are going to go to your settings icon on your Apple device. And if you want, you can go ahead and follow along with me and we'll go through. So on the settings, you can see here, if you scroll down, you'll see screen time. So you're going to want to click on screen time. And that will bring you to this slide, this screen. And it might look a little different depending on how your phone is set up currently. So if your phone already has screen time set up for you, this top section here shows your daily average and how much you are doing using the phone and the screen time. Underneath that are the sections that fall under screen time. So there's downtime, app limits, communication limits, always allowed, and content and privacy restrictions. For me, I have family sharing set up. So you can see that underneath those, I have the names of my 4 kids that are under my family. If you don't have family sharing set up, then when you clicked on screen time, it might go directly to this screen that says turn on screen time. So either way, if you don't have screen time, you'll just click on this. If you do, if you have family sharing, then you would click on your child's name, and then that would take you into the turn on screen time for your child. So once we click turn on screen time, the first thing it will show you is the continue to go ahead and activate screen time, and then it'll walk you through downtime. So downtime is the time that you want your child's phone to be basically turned off. Not turned off, but like all the apps and everything that you select in the next steps will be deactivated, and they wouldn't be able to access them. So, and you can do this for each child, you can set a different downtime. So I have a 14-year-old, so I allow him a little bit later hours. So, I might have his start time not be till 11:30 until 7 in the morning. my 4-year-old, I have from 8:30 in the evening until 8:30 in the morning. So you'll pick whatever the time frame is that you want. You're going to go ahead and click set downtime. And the next thing we'll come to is the app limits. So these are the apps that you want to be restricted for your child. You can click on all apps and categories, which would include every single category and app that's on the device. Or you can pick, if you just want social media or you just want games to be restricted, you can do that. Once you are done picking that, the next thing is the time limit, and that will be how much time do you want your child to have on those apps. So you can pick 4 hour, whatever is comfortable for you, you would go ahead and choose the time amount. And then you'll click set app limit. The next section is content and privacy, and we'll walk through those. Once you click content and privacy, it prompts you for the set screen time here, or the screen time passcode. And you want to pick a 4-digit code. As a recommendation for me, what I would do is pick a passcode that they're not going to know, and don't let them have it. If they figure it out or they see you enter it on the device, then they can go through and they can adjust any of the settings that you have set up for them. Okay. So once you've set your passcode, it's ready to configure. And so we're in the the downtime section. And downtime is activated when this button here is highlighted green. If you click this circle, it's going to move it over to the left, and then it would be white, meaning that it's not active. You can customize the settings. So if you want the same schedule every day from 10 to 7 every day, then you would just click every day. If you want to customize the days and you want your child during the weekdays for school, you want them to have a certain schedule, then you would just customize days and pick the time frame, the time schedule for those days, and then maybe the weekends you want to go ahead and let them have a different schedule. Block at downtime, this is important. If you want the phone to disable, this has to be activated. If it's not activated, then nothing will happen to your child's device at the block time. Okay, so app limit, this is where we selected 4 hours, will be whatever you chose here, and then block at end of time limit. So this means that once the child reaches their 4 hours during the day of whatever apps you selected, they will become disabled on their device. And so if they've reached this 4-hour limit, say by 6 p.m. in the day, then that app will be disabled at 6 p.m. instead of the 10 o'clock downtime. But if they didn't reach their 4-hour limit throughout the day, then at 10 o'clock would be when that app would become disabled. You don't have to have the block at end time active for it to work. So let's see, now we're on the communication limits. And here you can choose how you want to allow your child to communicate during downtime. And you can have everyone, or you can manage the contacts that you want them to have access to. So during downtime, you can pick specific contacts or everyone. And if you pick specific contacts, then you can identify exactly who you want them to be able to communicate with during their downtime. And that could be, mother, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, or anyone that you want. This right here, FaceTime. So if you have FaceTime here, these are allowed apps. So always allowed apps are available during downtime. So if you want to remove FaceTime, you can. That way they won't have access to FaceTime during the downtime. FaceTime is a way for, for them to kind of get around your your contacts, and they could still communicate with their friends at 2 o'clock in the morning if they do a FaceTime call. As a safety precaution, Apple, you can select messages to remove by clicking the red button here, but it will prompt you with a warning message that says, are you sure you want to do this? And it's because if something happens and you've taken that out, then you've really taken away your child's ability to communicate with people during downtime. So here's the content and privacy restrictions. So this is where you can set the individual restrictions. And here, iTunes and App Store purchases is the first one. So when you click on that top one, you come here and you can allow or don't allow your child to install apps on their device. So if you really don't want them going to the App Store and installing stuff, you can not allow them to do that. You can also not allow them to delete apps. In-app purchases, that's a big one. So the in-app purchases allows your child to buy things within the games. And, like I put the comment here, allows your child to purchase all of those tempting V-Bucks. I know that's a huge thing for my kids. They're constantly bugging me about buying V-Bucks, or any of the other virtual type of things that they can purchase. I have don't allow on mine because that doesn't allow them, but if they do want to purchase something, they then have to come talk to me and come, we talk about it and figure out what it is and whether I'm comfortable with it. And then usually if they're wanting to buy something like this, I make them buy it with their own money because I don't want to spend my money on virtual stuff. Another recommendation that I learned through my own experience with my kids is I had my debit card attached to my Apple account, which allowed the kids, it was the overarching credit card. So when in-app purchases was allowed, my kids round up my bill and I got a statement that, they'd spent, I don't know, $200 on V-Bucks or whatever it was. So I learned that I was able to add a Visa gift card to the account. And since it's a gift card, there's no way for them to charge to it. So that's a good tip. And then the required password is just if you want them to always have to enter their password every time they install something or do something. So for me, I don't think that's really necessary. These settings here are encouraged. So the passcode changes. The reason I don't allow that is because I want to know what my child's password is. That way, if I need to get into their phone, I can. And if this is allow, then they can change the passcode and then I wouldn't know what it was. So I have it not to allow them to make changes. The account changes, this is another one that I learned with my 14-year-old. He's always pushing the limits and trying to figure out ways to get around what I've done. So what he did one time was he created a new Apple ID and he logged into his new Apple ID on his device, which then just circumvented everything that I had done because the settings are tied to the Apple ID that you've created in your family sharing or that you've set up on the phone. So if they're able to change and create a new Apple ID and log into it, then it's just like a brand new account. So if you don't allow that, then they can't get in there and make that change. Allowed apps. So these are just things that if you're comfortable, you can allow your child to have these on their device. If you don't want them to have CarPlay because maybe they're not even able to drive at this point, then there's really no reason for them to have it. But you can go through these and disable any of the ones that you do not want your child to have access to. Now, content restrictions. Let me just make sure I didn't. Okay. So content restrictions are, for the Apple Store and things that they're using through Apple, the apps. So you can modify all of the ratings, the music, the movies, TV shows for the level that you're comfortable with for the age of your child. So, for my 4-year-old, I only want him to be able to see G-rated movies, TVG, clean books, whatever. And then the apps, they have the different age groups as well. You can do, I forget what the options are, but there's the different options for the age groups. Web content, you can limit adult websites. You can not allow explicit contact with Siri, multiplayer games, privacy messaging. This private messaging, you might want to not allow this. That way you're sure that nobody is sending your child private messages that you can't see. Okay, so that takes us to the last configuration for setting up screen time and restrictions. And I hope that I was able to help you. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Teeniors, and we'd love to reach back out and provide you any information that we can.
Christy, thank you so much for teaching us today. And if anyone has any further questions, you can always reach out to us. You can visit our website, teeniors.com. You can email teeniors@gmail.com, or you can call us at 505-600-1297. We look forward to seeing you in person again soon. Thank you.